Shri sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, when we practice meditation, always remember the freedom that you keep inside you itself help you to awake, because the mind is like a flower. So if the flower is bound to something, it cannot open. To open itself, even though there are many preconditions, as a flower itself should be free. Otherwise, it cannot. When you put a seed under the dirt to become a plant, that seed should be free. If you put the seed under the dirt, and top of that, if you put a piece of rock, what will happen? Because the seed itself doesn't have power to overtake some conditions. Even though it has power to come out of the ground, if there are certain barriers, if it is too heavy for that, it cannot. That's why it's like, even though you feel freedom conventionally, these 5 hindrance, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha Kukkucha, Vichikicha. So the Kamachanda means self-centered desire to find the satisfaction with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. Vyapada means the strong anger. Tinamid, the slow tenth of heaviness, dullness, laziness, sleepiness. And Uddacha Kukkucha, restlessness, thinking about your past and the future, worrying, oh, yesterday it was like this, oh, tomorrow going to be like this. Vichikicha, doubt regarding the path or the teachings, or even regarding the meditation, or even the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. So those are kind of the hindrance that hold you to the samsara. So then in day-to-day life, always remember, as an attitude, you have to free your mind deeply from this hindrance, little by little. Only you can do it for you. And other thing is, this all the hindrance, it's kind of like a soiled for the samsara. And it kind of like again and again put us to the same place. So that's why, look, that you can change your hair. You can cut your hair or get whatever the hairstyle. You can color your hair. And nails, look, you can cut the nails and polish the nails, and then you can put a kind of like colors on it. Garments, you can cover the body, and you can put many different garments, and slippers, the socks, you can change anything, and jewelries, you can change anything. You can change this all. But how about the mind? Can we change the mind like that? Oh, we keep repeating the same thing again and again and again. See this, everything is outside, even the physical. And sometimes people change the gender also, physically. That much, we came to a point. It's kind of like, you know, that it's advanced level of this material life. Today you see the woman, and tomorrow that person become a man. And today you see the man, and tomorrow that person become a woman. This transgender people. It is a kind of like a, advance, the level of this, all the science, technology, machines, you know, and pharmaceutical industry. But the thing is this, how about the mind? Why we cannot change our mind? Why we keep repeating the same thing again and again, knowingly or unknowingly? Even in day-to-day life, like even when you go to sleep, you do the same thing sometimes. And as example, if if you sleeping and then you talk, see, every day. And I used to be in temple, that and I had a roommate. He said, that this three-wheel driver, tuk-tuk driver, you know and he come after he's finished night shift, and he come like around 1:32 a.m. And then I sleep, and then after that, once you fall into sleep, and then like around 3 o'clock, he start to talk, that everything that he used to talk to his customers all the day, he start to talk. And sometimes, when I hear this, I every day at the same time. That's why I know it's every day at the same time he start to talk. He's sleeping. Then I ask, calling his name, and he's still there. Maybe he listening to this. He knows that, you know. And then sometimes I ask, hey, what you talking about? Then he wake up, and then he fall into sleep. What I notice, listen, every day at the same time he start to talk. So I was wonder, so look at this mind. Even we go to sleep, while we sleeping, our sanskara, or our mental formation, our defilement, see how activate. So then you have to be very careful. Another thing is how a person, when the person die, look how it advanced. When a person die, you left this air, you leave this everything. Even the body you leave. But look, this sanskara, or the mental formations, you become with that. Then how powerful. Then you have to think, what you think, you become. So once you know that, you have to be careful and look yourself. What you thought today, what you thought today about you. And then remember, you're going to experience it tomorrow. If you happy and if you more calm, relaxing, then you're going to experience it tomorrow. But if you worry, unhappy, fear, sad, then what will happen? So this is what you have done. This everything, that's why when you observe these five aggregates, you recognizing this everything kind of like a game of the mind. This life means, kind of like a game of your mind. And it can make you, uplift, and it can bring you down. So once you know that, without claiming this mind, as you start to take it as a worldly nature, and don't personalize your mind. Remember, it has a universal behavior. So once you know that, without claiming yourself, this is me, and then it's kind of like as example, the place now you sitting. So you observe yourself and your environment like this, and you're still missing some parts. When you in this two way when you experience. But how about, just imagine you sitting here like this, then somebody from above you start to look down, and then that view can bring the everything around you. So same like you have to observe yourself, your mind from above, not bound with the desires. So always remember to watch yourself from, above you. And then you're going to see something. You're going to see something about you. At least few minutes, try yourself. Then you will see. So that's why it's nothing to personalize this. We have worldly behavior. The way the mind works, the way the body works, it has a pattern. Once you recognize that, it is a condition of this world, human world. Once you recognize that, you're not going to bound to these feelings. So when it comes to the mind has a very, very, the clever, the behavior like this. So when you experience something, just look yourself. When you hear, smell, taste, feel, think, so whatever through the perception, when you experience something, always see your mind always divert that experience to something. Try to not to do that. If you're able to not to do that, you're going to understand something. But the very behavior of us, even while you're hearing this, in this very moment in your mind divert this idea to something. Then what will happen? While you diverting it and catch it, you're missing here something. So then you create a gap everywhere. Everywhere we create gaps. That is why the restlessness comes. Regarding our own past, regarding our own future. Why? Because we miss a lot of space inside us with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. The reason is when you experience something, right away, mind diverted to something else. Why? because the mind always like to find a connection to mental formations, desires, or the defilement, or the sanskara. So mind becomes so happy. That's why some people caught up with thinking, and they like to think. When they think, they feel so happy. There's nothing come out of that thinking, just thinking, that's it. That's even practicing meditation. They go to a place and maybe they spend so much money, and they go to retreat center, and then sit, and they go to their own thoughts, and then they live in their own la la land. They pay the money, and they go long journey and stay somewhere to, for what? Stay with their own thoughts. And then after that they feel, oh, I feel so good. Why you feel so good? And sometimes people say, when they go to retreat and certain places vacation, when they come back they say, oh, venerable sir, I feel so good. So I ask, why you feel so good? No, I no one to disturb me. I just stay myself. Oh, that's why you, because you found a place to stay yourself. So you cannot escape from samsara. Because you didn't go to a place to question who you are, what you are. You went to a place to settle down with it. So then remember yourself. When you practice meditation means let go. Because why? Because there is no self. There is no somebody like that, what you believe in your mind. There is no somebody like that. It is an illusion. That doesn't mean conventionally you have to live. No, conventionally, keep it. But eternally don't hold it. There is no such a person that whatever the name that gave to you or whatever belonged to you, you know, there is no such a thing eternally going to be there. It is not hard to understand. It is not a kind of like a deep, there are say, oh, you cannot understand this, you have to come to this level. No, no, no. Even 7 years old child can understand this. And during Buddha's time, Visakha, she was the, she, her attained to the that high mental powers, or the the that the so on, when she was 7 years old. And Sunita, Sopaka, these little children, and Venerable Rahula, you know. So these all little children, how they understood this Dharma. So that's mean when it come to understand Dharma, remember, you no need any qualification. That is the important thing you have to understand. Only thing is you have to have one thing, you have to have a clear intention and the desire to recognize the truth. That's it you want. You don't need any kind of degree, or you don't need to kind of pass, or you kind of need to come to a kind of like a certain age limit. You don't need to complete kind of like a course. No. So then yourself see, are you have that clear intention, especially when you are in situation that you understand this life is not belong to you. And then when you able to look how I can get out of it. Because Sunita, Sopaka, these little children had a very hard, difficult time. And Matta Kundali, little child, and they had a very, very, very difficult, hard time, as children with their own parents. That hard time, this difficulty in life push them to find the liberation or the salvation. So when you are in pain, that is a very good opportunity for you to find a way to get out of the pain. But unfortunately, what will happen? When we are in pain, rather than seeing it, we divert it to something. We divert it to something. No, first thing, when you are in pain, when you are in difficulty, accept it, see it, recognize it. Don't afraid for that. Everybody go through that way. No, we born with the pain. It is okay to get pain. Teach your children. Don't look for, escape. Don't look for exit from pain when a situation comes. Learn to accept it. That is where, why? That is where your liberation, your success going to happen. Otherwise, you always fail. Only thing, when the pain come, when the situations come, difficulties come, you look for exit. That's it. And then you run towards that. Why? Because that is the very behavior of the sansara. That is the very behavior of the mind. What is the behavior? When you experience something, it divert you to something else. Then you go there. Even by hearing a word, it brings you something. It brings you something. When it brings what happening, what you hear, you lose. So then you caught up inside you. So that is the pattern we go through. So especially with the difficulties come in life, criticism come in life, failures come in life, sadness come in life, worry come in life, just look into it rather than going away from it or diverting it to something, because with it, that is very natural way happening. But in the vipassana, you become fearless. That is where you're going to recognize what this is, why this is. So to find out this method, remember, the Buddha himself, he spent eons lifetimes. And after that, he found out this and gave it to the world. But still look at the world. Sometimes people don't want to understand it. Why? Because they are addicted to divert. They don't see, they don't understand how to look. When something happen, kind of like when you hear to my words, rather than recognizing the words, your mind divert you to think. Then you are not anymore hearing. When you hear my words, your mind divert you to thinking. So then what is happening? If somebody asks what you're doing, then you can tell, oh, I'm in this online session with this venerable. I'm listening to. No, you are not listening. What you doing? You thinking. So then how you can tell you are listening? So the same thing in day-to-day life with all the perception. Listen this very carefully and get it. If you get it, you're going to find something inside you. Very, very interesting. When you hear, when you smell, when you taste, when you feel, when you think, in that very moment, don't allow your mind to divert that experience to thoughts. Stay there. Stay there. Then you're going to recognize the moment by moment, whatever we experience, itself change. Itself in that very moment, it's change. It disappear. It disappear. You cannot find it anymore. Once you recognize that, what will happen? You not become worry about it. You become more clear, alert about the experience. Why? Because you know, if you miss it, you're not going to get it anymore. Why? Because you experience something only one time your entire sansaric journey. You're not going to experience it again and again and again and again, the same thing. No, it will happen in a different condition. So then yourself remember that whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, experience is to the highest. Have the completion with that experience. That is where you gain the total satisfaction. That is what called contentment. In that contentment, the that confidence arise about you. In that confidence, and your mind become more sharp and clear, more sharp and clear. Why? Because now you not look for diverting, no, you not don't look for exit. You become more alert and clear, and that is why I call you gain undisturbed mind. Now I hope you it is clear more for you. You gain undisturbed mind. Why? Because you now know this experience happened only this moment, and you become very, very sharp with that. That sharpness will open the door to see things very clearly and see things from inside. And that is where you recognizing how things come to be as they are, cause and effect, causality. And that is where you know there is no self. That deeper understanding and experience will transform you from conventional to your liberation. So it is very possible. Only thing is, you have to have an intention, effort, and the desire to look for the truth rather than diverting your mind to something. So, with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu Sabba sampatti siddhiyai dhammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.